Hello everybody, welcome back. Doing another deck tech.
Magic.
Thank you. So Pioneer today, and this is a humans deck. So Selesnya colors, of course. We will start with the 1-drops, because there are a few of them. Actually, there's not that many, but we have 4 experiment ones, so 1/1 evolve, of course. You can remove 2+1/+1 counters from it to regenerate it. Good card, and it's a human.
And an ooze.
And an ooze. Definitely the least human other than this in the deck. But, yeah, it is a human, technically. Then we have 2 Kithion, Hero of Akros, so of course the 2/1 that if you attack with 3 or more things, he flips into a Gideon Planeswalker, and you can make him indestructible for 3 mana when he's on this side. And those are actually all of the 1-drop creatures, because this is a 2-drop, but we'll go to there next. So, Handweir Militia Captain. It's a 2/2. At the beginning of my upkeep, if I control 4 more creatures, I get to flip him, and this one I'll actually describe. So when you flip him, his power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures that you control, and at the beginning of your end step, you get a 1/1 white and black human cleric token. So it sort of turns into like a weird bitter blossom type thing, but he's also huge.
Yeah, he's also gigantic.
Yeah. And having 4 creatures in this deck is honestly pretty easy to accomplish, so yeah, should be interesting. Then we have, I'll do this one first, Charming Prince. So when it enters the battlefield, you choose one, you can scry 2, gain 3 life, or flicker something. Comes back on the end step, so you can't just like go infinite with them right away. Yeah, but just a really good card. It's got a lot of different utility, and yeah, good stuff. Thalia's Lieutenant. So when it enters the battlefield, you get a +1/+1 counter on each human that you control. It's all humans, so that's good. And then whenever another human enters, it gets a counter. So pretty strong.
So he, yeah, if you land him early, he gets big, but if you land him late, he helps your armory. He also interacts very nice with the Charming Prince, because you flicker him and build your army even bigger.
Yeah, very good. Yes, so then we have...
Probably the other creature.
Yes, the other creature. Shanna, Sisay's Legacy. So, much like the backside of this Handweir Militia Captain, it's just like a huge guy. But you don't have to flip it. It has the same exact ability. And it also can't be the target of abilities your opponents control, which there aren't a ton, but it's good against Planeswalkers. Certainly. Yeah. So, then we will move over to spells. We have 2 copies of Gather the Townsfolk, makes 2 1/1 humans, and makes, how many? 5? 4?
5.
5 if you have 5 or less life. Which
I think it is, right? Yeah, 5 tokens at 5 or less life. So, it doesn't really ever come up, but sometimes the last stand is very potent.
Yeah. Plus, this was originally going to be a Raise the Alarm, but turns out those are not human soldiers. They're just soldiers.
Yeah, they're just soldiers.
Just generic, could be anything behind there. Could be a cat.
Well, I think they're originally like the on Mirrodin, so they were like the... I think that's why they just did soldiers, and then the later ones always show human-looking soldiers, but because the original is...
That makes sense. I still like my theory that it's a cat behind there.
It could be anything.
Yeah. So, then another 2-drop spell. We have 3 copies of Dramoka's Command. This is just a good card, generally. Does a lot of things. Make your opponent sacrifice an enchantment, prevent all damage from a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on something, or fight something.
Which is really good when you have like a couple things that can get gigantic.
Oh, yes.
I guess even the experiment one can get big.
Yeah, and putting the +1/+1 counter on him is a little funny, because you can actually like surprise regenerate if you need to, which is weird, but you can do it. Yeah, so just generally a great card. 4 copies of Rally for the Throne. So this also makes 2 1/1 white human creature tokens, instant speed, 3 mana. But if you spent 3 white mana on it, you gain 1 life for each creature you control. And there's a lot of creatures.
Which happens after the 2. So
yes.
I always gain at least 2 life.
Yeah, which is a pretty good trade-off for 1 extra mana to give you that extra little bit of utility. And then we have 4 copies of Brave the Elements, because a lot of white creatures, and Brave the Elements lets your white creatures
You literally all, except Experiment 1, he's all alone.
Yes.
But he does regenerate himself, so
it's true.
Kinda. survive a all-out attack, too.
Yeah, but mainly Brave the Elements on a Shanna or a Hammer Militia Captain
Or
when it's
even
flipped.
a giant...
Or, yeah, giant Lieutenant. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Kind of go wide and tall, so pretty good.
So I actually did forget some creatures, but that's because they're at my very top end here. So at 4, we have Heron's Grace Champion. These are in the deck for 2 reasons. The first one, 3/3 flash lifelink when it enters the battlefield. Other humans you control. That's what it is. Get +1/+1 and lifelink until end of turn. So that's pretty scary, especially with a lot of early tokens. You can sort of blow out things quickly. So that's the first reason it's in the deck, because it does some reasonable stuff. But the second reason, and the most important reason, look how pretty this card is. It's foil. It's
all shiny.
It's all shiny. It's
the
full art.
Yeah, it's the expanded art
Yeah.
to the text box.
Which, I mean, if you have no other reason to play Pioneer, you should play Pioneer because there's a lot of good promos that are suddenly kind of borderline playable now that weren't before.
But you combo that with a Brave the Elements, and even if you don't kill them, you're not dying on the crackback.
Certainly not. Yeah, and then we have 2 copies of Sigarda, Heron's Grace, which, funny enough, I didn't realize that these 2 cards were so intimately related when I first built this deck, but hey. So Sigarda, Heron's Grace, it's an angel. It's the only thing that's not a human, 4/5 flying. But you and humans you control have hexproof. That's pretty sweet. And you can pay 2 colorless mana to exile a card from your graveyard to put a 1/1 human soldier onto the battlefield, which is great with all of these other cards. So, yeah, just generally a pretty good top end, I think. Then we got 4 Temple Garden, 3 Sun Petal Grove, 2 Canopy Vista, 2 Castle Ardenvale, which also makes humans very useful.
It's nice that it mentions humans. It's always like soldiers again.
Yeah,
so
yeah, or just
having
like
the castle
something
make
weird.
humans is useful.
And then 1 Fortified Village and 10 Plains, because we definitely want all of our lands to tap for white for Rally of the Fourth Throne, because you look a little silly if you somehow only manage to scrape together 2 white on turn 3. Yeah. So that is the deck. Excited to play it, especially this card, because it's pretty.
It's shiny.
Yeah, and we'll see you back for another deck.
Boy.